Before watching the video, don't forget to subscribe the channel and enable bell notification to never miss an update from us.
Hello everyone and welcome to the session. This is Ashima Shukla, your Current Affairs and Banking Awareness faculty on Entry platform, and in this video we'll be talking about all the major news events that have taken place in the past days. The discussion is going to involve all the important news pointers which are going to help you in your exam preparation, and therefore this session is going to be in a theory oriented format, so that you'll be getting more of the notes highlight from it. For those who want to practice questions, for them we have everyday live quiz. The quiz happens on Entry app and you can download app from the link provided in the description section below, and the quiz is completely free of cost, so it's going to help you in your preparation. Starting on the discussion with the first news event, that is Wage Rate Index WRI. Now what has happened to the Wage Rate Index or WRI is that it has been revised or changed. So Ministry of Labour and Employment has recently changed the base year for Wage Rate Index. It was earlier 1963 to 65. It has been changed to 2016. So now earlier what was the wage rate, what we consider is that in 1963, when that is a base year, that means in 1963 we used to consider it that is 100, and now from there if we going up or down, it's going to be increasing or decreasing. Now 2016 is going to be considered as 100, and then we'll be, depending on that, we'll be seeing about the increase or decrease. For this purpose, government had formed an expert group on minimum wages and national floor wages. This was headed by Professor S.P. Mukherjee, and based on the recommendation of this committee, the base year has been changed. Also, new series of wage rate index from July 2016 to June 2020 based on the new series, which has 2016 as 100, has been released by the government. The compilation of this has been done by Labour Bureau, which again comes under the Ministry of Labour and Employment. A total of 37 industries have been covered under the new wage rate index basket of 2016, which is being considered as 100, as against 21 industries which were in the 1963 to 65 series. So in 63 to 65 we had 21 industries which were covered in the wage rating index, but now it has been increased. And the new wage rate index series with base of 2016 as 100 would be compiled twice a year on a point-to-point half-yearly basis, and that is going to be on 1st of January and then on 1st of July. So twice a year there is going to be point-to-point half-yearly basis a compilation every year. Then coming to one-liners, Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji laid foundation stone for Noida International Airport, which is at Jawar in Uttar Pradesh, also called as Jawar Airport. It is the second international aerodrome in Delhi National Capital Region, and it is the fifth international airport of UP, making UP as the state with the highest number of international airports in India. The development of this airport was undertaken by Zurich International, and it is spread on across 1330 acres of land area, and it's expected to be operational by 2024. Once it becomes operational, after that it is going to be the largest airport of India and the first net zero emissions airport of India. Union Cabinet chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has approved extension of Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana for a duration of another 4 months. That means the fifth phase has been started to be operational from December 2021 to March 2022. And if we look at this scheme, this is a scheme in which all the beneficiaries which are under National Food Security Act or NFSA, they receive 5 kg per person per month of food grains under this scheme, and this has been extended for a duration till March 2022 now. 13th edition of ASEM or Asia Europe Meeting Summit has been organized, which was hosted by Cambodia, because Cambodia is the chair. Indian delegation was led by Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu ji, and ASEM Summit ASEM Group has currently 51 member countries. 51 member countries, and there are two groups also which are a part of it. Which are those two groups? European Union and ASEAN. These are the two groups which are a part of ASEM along with 51 member countries, and in 2021 it is the 25th anniversary of ASEM. The 5th edition of World Congress on Disaster Management was inaugurated virtually by Union Defence Minister Shri Rajnath Singh Ji. The theme for the 5th WCDM is Technology, Finance and Capacity for Building Resilience to Disasters in Context of 2019. The organization of this event is being done by Indian Institute of Technology, IIT Delhi campus, and it's basically a very unique initiative for disaster management initiatives and Convergence Society, which is in Hyderabad, and they work on bringing the researchers, policymakers and practitioners on a common platform. So first time it was organized in the year 2008 at the time when the president was Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. The 15th edition of biennial trilateral Coast Guard exercise Dosti between Maldives, India and Sri Lanka was held in Maldives. So venue was Maldives. It's a trilateral exercise between India, Maldives and Sri Lanka, and in this, India was represented by ICGS Vajra and ICGS Apurv. Now, the aim of the exercise is to strengthen the friendship, enhance the mutual operational capability and interoperability. This exercise was organized for the first time in the year 1991 between India and Maldives, and then in the year 2012, Sri Lanka joined in. Moody's Investors Service has projected the GDP growth rate prediction for Moody's as per India at 9.3% for financial year 22, whereas for financial year 23 the projection has gone to 7.9%. Asian Development Bank has approved 1.5 billion US dollars loan to help the government of India purchase safe and effective vaccines against COVID-19 recently. Then a renowned art historian and critic Brajendra Nath Goswami ji has announced a new book, Conversations, India's leading art historians engaging with 101 themes and more. Now, this is a book based on around Indian art. Initiative of Niti Aayog named Atal Innovation Mission has partnered with Vigyan Prasar, which is an autonomous organization of Department of Science and Technology, to execute synergies between AIM's Atal Tinkering Labs and engaging with the Science EWS, which is Vigyan Prasar's unique activity. So both of them have come together to help. These activities are going to help the teachers, the students, the principals to get points and certificates, and also provide motivation for getting associated with the STEM subjects: science, technology, engineering and maths. Reserve Bank of India has revealed a draft scheme that describes amalgamating Punjab and Maharashtra Cooperative Bank with Unity Small Finance Bank, which is based in Delhi. So this is just a proposal that it might come true. And USFB had started operations in 1st of November 2021 as a small finance bank. Now, with this amalgamation, a greater degree of protection to the depositors of PMC might be expected, but the approvals and the benefits are going to be visited soon on that. ADB has approved 1.5 billion US dollars loan. As we have already seen, it has been given to Government of India for effective medicines against COVID-19. Bajaj Allianz General Insurance has entered into a partnership with Tropogo, which is a deep tech startup, and they have partnered to distribute one of its kind drone insurance products. 37th corporate exercise held between navies of India and Indonesia. The maritime patrol aircraft from both countries participated in an exercise to enhance the maritime cooperation between both the countries. S.K. Sohan Roy, Dr. S.K. Rohan Soy is a CEO and founder of Aries Group of Companies and is selected for Knighthood of Parte Guelpha for his humanitarian and environmental protection efforts in business and movies. He's the first Indian to be honored with Knighthood of Parte Guelpha. Remember this line, he's the first Indian to be honored with this. Union Minister of Science and Technology Jitendra Singh Ji launched country's first virtual science lab for children under the CSIR, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research program called Jigyasa. The students are going to get an opportunity to connect with the scientists via this program. Union Minister of Railways Ashwani Vaishnav ji launched Bharat Gaurav policy, that is Bharat Gaurav trains. These are theme-based tourist circuit trains that will be run by both private sector and by IRCTC. They aim to attract tourists and promote the tourism sector in India, and these will offer tourists an experience of the cultural heritage. That is the purpose, and therefore it will have about 14 to 20 coaches, 2 guard vans, and the interested operators can apply online on one-time fee of 1 lakh and a security deposit of 1 crore per rake will be there. Union Minister of State Independent Charge for Ministry of Science and Technology Dr. Jitendra Singh inaugurated Project Swadesh. Project Swadesh is the one of its kind large-scale multimodal neuroimaging database designed specifically for Indian population. It's a unique brain initiative developed by DBT National Brain Research Center, which is based in Gurgaon in Haryana. Right? Now, then we have Indo-German Science and Technology Center, which has launched first of its kind program to promote women researchers in the field of research and development. It's called Women's Involvement in Science and Technology, Science and Engineering Research, or WISER. The full form of WISER is important. It will encourage women researchers in the research and development program, and it is an initiative by Department of Science and Technology and Federal Ministry of Education and Research, which is of Germany. Ministry of Women and Child Development commemorated the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav week from 14 to 21st of November as a part of 75 years of independence celebrations of India. The theme for this ministry was Children, Ideas, Rights and Nutrition. It was organized to generate awareness about child rights, reaching to the childcare institutions and specialized adoption agencies. With this, we'll be winding up this segment, and I hope this session has been helpful. We'll see you in the next video. Till then, have a great day ahead.